If I was a turd, I'd jump out and scare people.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into r/LegbeardStories. Yes indeed, we've been coming heavy with the Legbeards recently, which is surprising because there's always a bit of a dry spell. I really have to go digging, but one just plopped right onto the timeline. I was looking through r/Neckbeards and some guy was harassing this OP. They're like, oh, he's never had sex, and I saw my name mentioned. So I'm like, hey, I gotta go check that out. And it's a really well-written story, all things considered. As per usual, I didn't spoil it for myself, but I do hope that this becomes a nice, long Legbeard series. I thought about finishing off Creepy Callie today, but probably within the next day or so. Maybe Nice Guys tomorrow, Zuka, and then Callie. A nice little weekend treat for you guys. Just a little glimpse of what is to come, I suppose. But who really cares about that, right? We're living in the now, right? So let's go ahead and get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some hot, fresh Legbeard cringe. Stealthbeard, the Legbeard of Ultimate Destiny. Part 1, The Encounter. Hello, fellow beard hunters. ReddX, the YouTube scientist of all things neckbeard, recently dredged up a long-repressed memory. I'm not sure yet whether I'm thankful for that or not, but I'm eternally thankful for the hours of entertainment that ReddX has provided me. Anytime, my dude. Like I always say, this channel would be nothing without you guys, honestly. So thank you for watching, and also thank you for contributing. That's super killer. This series is my tribute to repay him at least a little. I highly encourage you guys to stop by and give him a like or a sub. Seriously, his narrations are amazing. Okay? Okay. Enough gushing. I was about to say the same thing. You're building it up a little bit too much. Now let us cut right down to the beard of the matter. Today I come to you with a tale of a creature most foul. A creature that either refused or perhaps simply couldn't physically comprehend the meaning of the word no due to its tiny brain and sloping forehead. Neanderthal! For 4 long years, I was pursued, and I barely escaped with my life and my reputation intact. We got closer than I would like to admit. There was one point during this sordid tale that I had even seen the inside of the beast's lair. I'll write it off as a self-defense mechanism because there was truly no way, aside from submission, to quell the unbridled lust that had been stewing in her loins for untold ages, like some sort of major anime plot point that nobody asked for. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Did you fuck a Legbeard, bro? I bet you did. Tell me about it. I want to know. If you aren't familiar with them, I must tell you now that Legbeards are cunning and sly. Yes, indeed. They're not often able to be studied in their natural habitat due to their slippery nature. Is that an innuendo? Did you fuck a Legbeard, bro? Tell me. Just kidding. Well, you do have plenty of overly loud, pink-haired cat girls that might as well be wearing a neon t-shirt that says, "Run away from me!" Many Legbeards are simply parading as nice girls, trademark, until the time comes to reveal their true colors. Ah, and there's the rub, as Shakespeare said. The rub? Did you fuck? Never mind. Oh, that joke's gonna get old quick. Unlike the male variant, Legbeards don't simply rip their mask off and say, "Gotcha!" They're much more methodical. Piece by piece, day by day, the mask is slowly removed. It might go so unbearably slow that it's almost imperceptible at first, just a few grains of sand at a time. You might tend not to notice until those grains of sand are grating on your last nerves and threatening to bury you alive. And by that point, it might be too late for most. like a big fat bullfrog having the heat turned up until it perishes in a froth of boiling Mountain Dew. Well, I was that bullfrog. It's unfortunate that in most cases, the social contract dictates that you can't simply turn and flee, no matter how much venom and vitriol you're about to be unceremoniously dosed with. The option to rip her out of your life is just no longer on the table. Before you even realize what is happening, the Legbeard has been in your life for too long. The poison has spread. She's taken hold of your friends and perhaps even a few family members, and is determined to take them with her when she leaves. How do you cure an infestation so deep? Well, again, we'll need to cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, let's introduce the cast. What an introduction, bro. He's wordy. OP, at the time, a 24-year-old male college student that's just coming off the NEET gravy train. If you guys don't know what NEET is, it means not in education, employment, or training. Basically somebody that's doing nothing with their life, maybe collecting welfare bucks, something like that. Some people go so far as to develop it into a personality trait, which is despicable. They laugh at people who work and call them wage slaves. Well, guess what? I'm a wage slave, but I got the coolest job ever. Luckily, OP is coming off that gravy train, so I don't have to despise him too much, I guess. Some might call me a neckbeard of sorts, but I'm at least slightly socially aware, and I do go out of my way not to impose upon anyone. As this story takes place, I'm going to school to become a nurse because at this point I have no idea what the hell else to do, and my mom was officially pushing me out of the nest. 24? Fair enough. Trollface, the friend, we'll call him TF, a 24-year-old high school friend that began attending college a year before I had. He adores getting a rise out of people in any way possible, hence Trollface, I guess. A few times this has been to my detriment, but as he's one of the only people that I actually knew when starting college, and I am a fairly introverted person, I tended to stick pretty close by his side. Thiccy Chick, THC, a seemingly very sweet 19-year-old girl with a cool preppy style. She was fairly overweight, but she managed to carry it well. She hung out with our Legbeard, largely because it made her look good by comparison. At least that's my personal theory. Her darling nature definitely held some deep, dark secrets, as this tale will eventually reveal. Legbeard, LB, an eerily normal 22-year-old girl that had a terrible side to her. She wore black, smarmy, one-liner t-shirts, jeans, and black Converse shoes just about every single day that I can remember. It's like exactly how I dressed in high school. She did faintly smell like cat pee. Despite her lack of fashion sense and her strange scent, she was able to pass off as normal enough for me to end up getting close to her. So our story begins with the first encounter, within the darkest depths of a putrid swamp known colloquially as Local City College. Legbeard was lying in wait. Trollface had failed out of basic algebra the year prior because of his constant need for general fuckery. So I took it upon myself to try and push him through with force of will alone. This happened sometime during the first month at college, and it was already an uphill battle. The preliminary exam was approaching, and we both still lived at our parents' houses, so we decided the best place to convene would be in the campus library. Surely it would offer less distraction than sitting down 20 feet away from his PlayStation, right? Wrong. Trollface would spend the majority of his time scrolling through Twitter thirst trap porn accounts that were trying to push their OnlyFans page, while I tried in vain to capture his attention and get him to focus. Every formula was punctuated, with Trollface showing me pictures of whatever hollow husk of a woman he had found that was pulling out her tits on a publicly viewable website. I just grunted my disinterest and pointed to the equation at hand. OP, you know, dude, you're gonna be spreading your ass for pennies too on some chatterbait cam site if you don't manage to get this shit down. And if you cause me to fail, I'm gonna be right there next to you. Trollface.
Whatever, bro. I'd never let you join in on my show. I'm keeping all my money.
OP, Okay, whatever. I won't need to spread my pooper because I'm actually gonna graduate. And at least attempt to do something with my life. Trollface.
You're just mad because my chocolate starfish looks succulent enough to pay for.
Chocolate starfish. It got me good. I proceeded to audibly gag while I gathered my books and moved to the next available table. If he didn't intend to do the work, then I wasn't going to waste my time. You can lead a horse to water, but sometimes it'll still die of thirst, or something like that. Ah, because a thirst trap porn account? Okay, I get it. That's a good one. I was seeing red, and in my anger, I slammed my books onto the table. Each of the scattered groups in the library turned their heads. I flailed my notebook in the direction of a couple of these gawkers with a sneer. I guess trying to prove that I didn't give a damn about their judgment, but I probably just ended up proving that I am, and always have been, some sort of spastic. Whatever. At least now I could concentrate on the preliminary exam and get college started off on the right foot. My mom was officially at the end of her rope, and had supported me for about 6 years longer than she really had an obligation to. It was time to fly on my own. I truly did want to make her proud. I'd only been studying for a minute or two when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I whirled around, ready to give Trollface an earful, but all I got out of my mouth was, "What do?" before my brain registered that I was staring at a girl that I hadn't seen before. This was the moment Legbeard had chosen to strike, and I fell right into her trap. I can only really compare her to an underfed crocodile, or the kind of skinny, stringy poop that goldfish leave floating in the bowl where they live. Suffice to say, she was not exactly great looking. A very skinny girl of mixed heritage. She had yellowish eyes, a long face, and teeth that stuck this way and that, like somebody had tried to turn a butternut squash into a jack-o'-lantern, and then turn that squash-o'-lantern into what they thought resembled a human female. So her head's got like a weird shape or something? Her edgy shirt today featured a crude stick figure crawling out of a toilet with the words,
If I was a turd, I'd jump out and scare people.
Bro, I know what shirt you're talking about. It's this one. I seen it at Hot Topic when I used to go there. Those words alone just brought the image rushing back. That's a trip. Legbeard.
What do? What do you do?
She giggled, and I felt my heart jump into my throat. Sure, she wasn't conventionally attractive, but I was never exactly a ladies' man, so having any sort of attention from the fairer sex was pleasant. She dressed more casually than any woman that I'd ever seen, and it managed to put me at ease. The moments that followed the first words that she spoke to me were starting to feel like an absolute eternity. I fumbled for words that would make sense and attempted to decipher in what order I should put them. Okay, time to respond to her. Hurry! Say something! OP!
Say something!
OP? Oh, well, or no, just me, I'm just here, I have to, lacking the proper words, I simply closed my algebra book and held it up to show her. My face was turning a deep shade of crimson, but apparently by some miracle, she found that fact endearing. She giggled again. Legbeard.
I saw your little breakup. I'm sure the whole library did. What's your name? Are you alright?
OP. I'm OP, and really it's no big deal. Trollface is kind of a jerk. We went to high school together. She moved closer and guided the hand that was still holding the algebra book up back to the table. I took a deep breath. You might think it creepy, but after half a decade of essentially avoiding human contact, I truly found myself just wanting to get a whiff of her perfume or shampoo or body spray. That is creepy, but OP's a self-admitted neckbeard, so I don't know how to respond. I do enjoy feminine scents in passing, but yeah, I don't think I've ever tried to get a whiff. It just comes to me on the wind, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. But instead of a flowery or fruity smell, what OP got was a nose full of what smelled like cat piss. I let out a surprised cough, and Legbeard jumped back slightly. It was probably my just desserts for what some might consider a total creep move. Legbeard,
perhaps you need to expand your social circle.
After feeling her hand on mine and essentially coughing in her face, the embarrassment was starting to consume every fiber of my being. In this 20-second conversation, I began to remember why my social circle had never expanded very far beyond the couple of extroverts that had adopted me like some kind of quirky pet. I couldn't look her in the eyes. My ears were burning, as I'm sure my face somehow managed to blush even more. I tried to stay still, hoping the situation would just melt away like some sort of horrible nightmare. Of course, it didn't. So I simply nodded at my algebra book. Every molecule of my body vibrating with shame and self-pity. Legbeard.
Oh, look at you. You're so shy. Okay, we're gonna start now. Just hold on a minute. I'm Legbeard, by the way. I just want to introduce you to my friend. I think she's out of class by now.
Legbeard went to work and whipped out her phone, clicking and clacking and tipping and tapping. I wasn't sure what to do with myself, so I sat back down and opened the algebra book. Now, I think there are certain men out there that would enjoy this sort of attention, but I am a proud guy, despite my lack of accomplishments. But your self-awareness is there, OP. I gotta give you points for that. I don't want people treating me like a wounded puppy. Even if being a wounded puppy would mean an endless parade of tits, it's coming from the wrong place, in my opinion. Much like the boobies that are displayed on Twitter. Trollface, on the other hand, is definitely the sort of guy to take any chance to soak up attention from the ladies. I make a note of him scrolling on his own phone and visibly sulking out of the corner of my eye. I'm surrounded by people that are enraptured by technology, and I don't have a phone of my own due to my mom cutting me off, so I just sit and stare at the algebra book some more. I wish that I could form even a single rational thought, but instead I'm stuck just staring at a page filled with numbers and wondering how the hell I got myself into this situation. A bit of attention is great, but the truth is, I didn't want it to be anything beyond a passing hello. I'd give anything to just melt through the floor and find myself back in my bed. World, cold and hard. Bed, soft and warm. I get it. I'd enjoy a nice bowl of Cap'n Crunch and a box of wine. While I fuck off from the world for at least a few precious hours. Sounds like heaven. Just as I start to lose myself in my thoughts, I'm inevitably dragged back into reality by Legbeard. Legbeard.
Hey, OP, I want you to meet Thiccy Chick.
Thiccy Chick stepped forward, seemingly from nowhere, and confidently shook my hand. Just when I thought I'd stopped blushing. Just when I thought my heart had regained its proper place in my chest. There it goes, leaping into my throat again. She was a heavy girl, but her blonde hair and hazel eyes alone were enough to take my breath away. She wore a skirt, tights, a lacy white blouse, and a very smart-looking blazer. My mind boggled at how she could possibly know Legbeard. Disparate styles indeed. I knew I couldn't make words, so I pulled my hand away and then gave her a wave. We just shook hands. How about I wave to you? God, OP. Nodding at the algebra book. It's like, it's slight cringe, but it just seems to be endless. Another wave of crushing awkwardness brought a blushing wave back to my face as my ears started to burn once more. Legbeard.
He's funny, isn't he?
Thiccy Chick. Yeah, funny's the word for it. Thiccy Chick was scrutinizing me, and it was agony. But she was a gorgeous girl, and I did want her to like me in some capacity, any capacity. So I did what wounded puppies do best, and looked up at her with the puppy dog eyes that worked my own mother over for far too long. Hell, if it works for an ugly old basset hound, it just might work for me. And it did. Thiccy Chick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't intend to be mean. It's just been a long day already. It's not you.
OP, I appreciate that. I know I can be socially awkward. I just don't get out very much. Legbeard.
He's perfect, isn't he, Thick Chick? We can rebuild him. Make him stronger, faster, better.
My interest was piqued at this point. Social interaction with women is great, but throw in a $6 million man reference? Phew. I'm not big into 1970s television, but anything with a sci-fi bent is something that I will at least give a chance. When was another opportunity like this gonna present itself again anyways? Thick Chick seemed to roll her eyes a bit, but afterward she smiled and nodded at Legbeard in agreement. Thick Chick.
It should make this semester slightly more interesting at the very least.
Legbeard.
Where's your little boyfriend? Are you done with your cat fight?
Legbeard chuckled and gave me a shove. This was the beginning of a long pattern of negging and manipulation. The first sign, so do make a note of it. Seemingly right on cue, Trollface scrambles out of his seat and introduces himself to the ladies. Words start spilling out of his mouth in an unstoppable torrent. Trollface.
Hi, I'm Trollface. You guys want to go somewhere? Let's hang out. You said you had a long day. Oh, yeah, me too. Let's just go somewhere and unwind a bit, huh? You guys want to go out for drinks, huh? Let's go out for drinks, huh?
Legbeard gave a sidelong glance at Thick Chick and cocked her head a bit. Thick Chick stared back at Legbeard for a long moment before giving an almost imperceptible nod. They seemed to be communicating telepathically. Legbeard then turned to Trollface and spoke up for the both of them. Legbeard.
Thick Chick isn't old enough to drink, but we know a spot where they don't really card us. I feel like I should tell you right now that it's a gay nightclub.
Trollface.
Oh, no, yeah, that's totally cool. As long as we got a couple of fine ladies like you on our arms, I'm sure nobody's gonna try anything with us. We are 100% up for that.
We, he says. Why would he say we? I was looking forward to a day of studying and a night of wine, but I would end up caving to social pressure and going to that club. It would be a night that I would end up regretting in many ways. I was blackmailed and held hostage by a few stupid actions meant to impress a couple of legbeards. This would result in me becoming somewhat of a pet project for them, but this post has gotten quite long. We'll have to get into it in the next post. Thank you guys for reading, and again, a special shout out to ReddX if he does stumble across this. Oh, P, you're giving me a case of the blue balls. Just when it was starting to get good. That is one hell of an introduction to the series. Really, really wordy. I do like the way that things were phrased and stuff like that, but it does take a little while for this OP to get where he's going. On the plus side, I do like the glimpse inside your mind. You know what I mean? You're really feeling every step of the way, like every cringy social interaction, because OP is letting you know exactly how he feels. So I'm a bit conflicted. You guys can let me know if you like this writing style, if you'd like to see more from this OP. I definitely would, just because, well, one, I like the writing style, and two, Legbeard stories, especially well-written ones, are so exceedingly rare. So definitely big thanks for writing this out for us. I did indeed stumble across it, and I couldn't be more pleased about that. Super cool story. I do look forward to the next entry, and hopefully it will be a little bit more action-packed. I'm trying to say that as gingerly as possible. But yes, indeed, I do have you bookmarked, and we will be looking forward to the next one. I hope that you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe. That is always appreciated. Maybe share the episode around if you know somebody that needs a laugh. I hope you guys will check out the links in the description. Wifey's channel. Ooh, we got some 90-day fiasco going on over there. That's going to be super delicious. Check the pinned comment to check that out once it's up. We also got the Amazon affiliate links. Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch. Yup. and my personal subreddit r/ReddX reads. There's also some social media stuff, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, you know the deal. Oh, and how could I almost forget about my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. Yes, indeed, you're seeing some names on the screen right now, and I would like to thank them all, but especially ZeroMMX, Lady Nix, Robert Waits, Pope Squid, Rebecca H, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, Mark 211, Michael Undead, Aaron W, Mitch, John Hero, Candy Sora, DigiNZ, Fire Drake, Little Lone Wolf, Lone Island, Shara, Miss Monday, Silent Revolver, JM Kun, Leon Embers, TSM Kirby, Redwind, Synaptic Boomstick, Jerry, and Staples. Yeet! Thank you guys so much for supporting. Things do get demonetized every so often. I don't think it'll happen with this video, but you never can tell. So I definitely appreciate being able to lean back on my patrons. If anybody else can support, that is absolutely massive. Thank you so much in advance. But if you can't right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through and hanging out with me. And I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow, because the views are really how my beard stays buttered. In order to make it on back, you're going to need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands all the time, but also take some time out, do something you personally enjoy today, maybe watching some more ReddX videos. Oh my god, that's a great idea. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I will see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.